This really annoys me. I hadn't quite figured out why until now, and then it hit me. These statues wearing masks are a very crude, very lazy form of partial conversion. But whereas previous forms of partial conversion have been to something better, take paganism to Christianity, whereas this partial conversion is liberty to tyranny. Partial conversion has been used very effectively as a means of propaganda by pretty much every conquering power since Alexander the Great. This is because it slowly indoctrinates the younger generations of the conquered into the dogma of the conquerors, which in turn solidifies their power base as conquerors by boosting popular support. On the Isle of Man, this works with on-off lockdowns. People give passive consent to lockdown based on the idea that this one will be the last one. Every time this happens, though, greater and greater numbers of the populace accept the idea that freedom and liberty is not a God-given right, it's a state-given privilege. Similar processes of change to a belief system can be observed all throughout history. For example, early Christian missionaries to Britain during the papacy of Gregorius I. These early Christians began adapting pagan temples for Christian use, which, because on the part of the pagans, this practice was easily accommodated, in much the same way lockdown is and virtue signalling is for some people. The number of pagans attending Christian services, or mass to use the correct term, grew exponentially in a very short time, and the amount of pagans shrunk massively to the point where pagans were a minority less than a century later. What we can learn from this is simply this: to compromise on core values such as liberty, even in a small way, will not end. The compromising will continue, and continue, until core values like liberty are non-existent. Think of it like religion. Most people are not church-going Christians or identify as atheists. However, they are not truly atheists, as they believe in dogmatic secular religions such as global warming and COVID